In 12B, we only ended up doing the first two problems. So, number one, we have y equals 0.25x plus 66.75. And this is an interesting one. It says we are going to predict somebody's height according to their education level. So predict the height of a man with 12 years of education, with 16 years of education. We're going to plug in 12. 0.25 times 12 plus 66.75. So apparently the average of all men who have 12 years of education is 69.75 inches. Now we do the same thing for 16. Well, we use the regression line is the prediction line. That's what it does. So now we end up with 70.75. Okay. Does going to college increase a man's height? No. So what's really going on here? Well, we have a regression line that goes from 0 to 16 and then a whole bunch of heights. And the regression line starts here at 66.75 and then ends at 70.75. So the regression line looks like this. Right? And the data sort of fits it pretty well. But I could imagine that over here, there is no correlation. Why? Everybody stops growing somewhere in the 9 to 12 year range, right? So if we were to throw this away, we would have a totally different regression line. Because as you get older and you go to school more, you grow. So this part of the regression, this part of the scatter plot probably has no correlation. And then this part of the scatter plot is probably highly correlated, but it doesn't follow the regular regression line. It probably follows a line something like that. Or I guess that was wrong. I meant something like this. Okay. 2. And we have y equals 0.05x plus 439.01 centimeters. Predict the length of the wire when the weight is 3 kilograms. Does it have predicting length from weight? So go to, turn back a page, 209. And we have that graph. The length of the wire in centimeters according to the load in kilograms. So if we plug in 3 kilograms, 0.05 times 3 plus 439.01, we would expect the length to be 439.16. Okay. Does putting more weight on the spring make it longer? Yes. Yeah, of course, it's going to stretch. So, yes, and is that line very predictive? It's extremely predictive. You could guess the length of that wire spring according to how much weight's on it. And at some point, the extrapolation won't make any sense. But eventually, you'll put enough weight on it that it will either stretch, it'll max out, and the spring will stretch out, and then kind of not spring back. It'll just kind of stay, or it could even break. So you could probably extrapolate that for a while, but eventually it's not going to make any sense.